And we're back with another episode of Franchise My Business, the podcast for franchisors, hosted by franchisors. I'm your host, Kevin Oldham, and we are back with yet another amazing guest. Seems to be a theme on this show where we're interviewing a lot of franchisors that are helping people live better lives. And when I say live better lives, I'm not talking about getting tires on the car or making sure that their houses are, pest free. I'm talking about the person themselves, living their best life, taking care of themselves. And so I'm super excited to talk about fitness today. We're going to specifically talk about an emerging franchise system called Iron Tribe Fitness. I have the president of Iron Tribe Fitness on today's show. Welcome, Karen. Karen Broadwater, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. When I went and looked at your history on LinkedIn, I was like, oh, this is going to be a fun show because you've been with the organization for over a decade. Yep. And I want to talk about what your very first job was at Iron Tribe Fitness.
Yeah, so I was actually, first I was a member. So I didn't mention that, but first I was a gym member. And then I came on as administrative assistant. So ultimately I was just going to be the CEO's assistant and hang out and take care of him all day. But I had different plans. So
you had different plans. Yes, you did. Because as I was looking at your LinkedIn, it was like, hey, all right. So then you became a manager, gym manager, operations implementer, VP of brand experience. Then over 4 years ago, you became the president.
I did. Mm-hmm.
That's the definition of working your way up in a business. Congratulations.
There's
awesome
nothing
job.
I haven't done. Yes, it's fun. It's fun.
From cleaning the toilets to helping award franchisees, you've done it all. That's cool. That's cool.
Yes.
I had not heard of Iron Tribe Fitness because you guys do not have a presence in our market. I'm in Kansas City. So for people that maybe are not in the Southeast, which is where your heavy population of 29 locations is, why don't you tell us a little bit about what makes Iron Tribe Fitness unique?
Yeah, so ultimately, as our business model, we create careers in fitness. And so we find that that's very unique because ultimately we believe that fitness professionals are some of the most passionate people in the world. And either they go out and start a business and they're not business people because they love fitness, and then they end up selling insurance because their fitness business didn't thrive, or they trade time for money for years and they're broke and they can't support their family. Yeah. So at the core of who we are, while we want to change lives, we want to take care of clients, we want to hire people that want to do that and make certain that they have a true career in the passion that they love. So that's kind of the core. Like our whole mission is we create fitness communities that change lives, but we want to do that for our staff. We want to do that for our clients. We want to do that for our franchise partners, their staff, their clients, and just really create, I don't want to call it a movement. That's a little too powerful, but really create an opportunity for people that are passionate about something to live out their dreams and take their kids to Disney. And I mean, maybe not get rich, but definitely not suffer from doing what they love.
Yeah. You know what? You're right. Because, you do notice that a lot of people in the fitness industry, whether they're personal trainers or gym manager or whatever, a lot of times they're not able to create that level of income that they want to create for themselves and their family. So that's really cool that your guys are taking that approach. What if I'm a member at an Iron Tribe Fitness? There's a bunch of different fitness models out there and they all work for different reasons. And I'm not going to mention anybody else besides Iron Tribe on today's show. But what is, like, if you're a member, so going back to when you were a member, what is kind of the business model? Is it group type of stuff? Is it one-on-one? Like, what makes people keep coming back and puts the tribe into the Iron?
Yeah. So ultimately what it is we do small group classes. So maximum of 16 people in a class. And then we also have semi-private personal training. So we do personal custom programming where you have a whole program, holistic accountability, nutrition, and fitness, but your actual class is just done in only up to 5 people. So still custom, everybody's doing their own personalized workout, but just in a small group with a professional coach leading that for them.
Yeah. And the accountability thing is huge.
Huge.
It's ridiculous. It's the only thing that really gets me permanently into a fitness state is accountability, either from my coaches, my instructors. I'm a martial artist, so if I don't go to class tonight, I'm going to feel like I let
it's true.
My instructor down. So there's a huge component to that.
Yep.
Cool.
And then I think the uniqueness is we always have a coach assigned to every single person within our gym. So that accountability, it's that one coach knows them, knows their kid's name, knows their knee injury, knows that they struggle with wine on Thursdays. Like that coach knows that person.
They're like, are you a little hungover on Friday because you drank too much wine on Thursday? It's okay. We're going to go extra hard on you to make sure that you don't go as hard next Thursday.
That's true.
I've only had one personal trainer in my entire life, which is hilarious. I've hired lots of individual coaches for different sports, but I still remember that poor gentleman who worked at a national franchise gym who I just wanted to punch every time I saw him. It was like his name was Jeremy, and I just wanted to punch Jeremy. And that was part of what I loved about Jeremy was the fact that I was paying him to be a pain in the butt to me to help enforce some habits and necessary change that I couldn't get myself. And so it sounds like you guys are kind of doing that with Iron Tribe, but at a deeper level because you have your peers as well as the manager or the instructor. So that's really cool. Let's dive into the business aspect because that's what this show's all about. But so you guys have 29 locations. Your headquarters is in Birmingham, Alabama. What year did this business start franchising?
2013 was their original franchise. So we've been doing it for about 10 years now. We did pause for a while as we kind of pivoted our model, and we've just recently emerged selling again.
Okay, let's talk about pauses because I went through a pause myself, a couple-year pause in our franchise. What caused you to pause? Was it a modification of the model? What was your pause for?
Yeah, a little bit of all of the above. I think we didn't necessarily have bad people that we sold to. We sold to the wrong people to begin with. Some of the wrong group of people, meaning we really overlooked the need for having a sphere of influence in the market that you decide to put a gym that's so community centric. And a lot of people were our members who bought franchises, still decided to live in Birmingham or in wherever they were while they tried to open in another market. And that kind of unengaged owner just doesn't work for our model. You could be semi-absentee, but not unengaged. So we had a little bit of cleanup to do there. And then we also, between COVID and everything, had all of these shifts in what it is that we needed to look like as a business. Yeah. COVID was actually healthy for our franchise. We got smaller, but we got right sized, and a lot of the same things that we noticed. Same thing. It was like, hey, maybe we didn't have the right operators. We learned a lot. It was kind of a healthy period to reset because you didn't feel like you had to keep putting locations on the board for the purpose of putting locations on the board. You could take time to refine the model and do it better. So your ideal operator, which you figured out is having a sphere of influence in their market, kind of helps that hyper local business get that initial support, right? So if somebody's listening and you're thinking, hey, I want to, open up my own wellness type of a franchise, know that you're going to be the owner operator. You could maybe be semi absent, but probably really engaged at the very beginning and using your expertise and your sphere of influence in your local market to get the initial wave of members. And then hopefully you get that snowball effect through adoption. Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
That, or, we suggest, or we really want at minimum who runs it to have some ownership. So if someone buys a franchise from us, whoever they get to run it, we would, if they're not going to live there, we would suggest that person needs some ownership.
Yeah. Let's talk about the real estate requirements for your guys' locations. Like, what size of space are folks typically looking for to build an Iron Tribe Fitness?
Yeah, we can be in a pretty small footprint, so about 2,500 square feet. A little bigger, a little smaller, depending on how big you want offices and locker rooms. But we want that gym floor space to be around 2,000, 2,200 square feet.
That's not bad. Yeah. I was anticipating it'd have to be bigger. So that's really cool. Because a lot of times when you think of fitness, you think, I think a lot of real estate, you got machines and things like that. So that's actually great because that helps keep down some of the investment needed to operate the biz.
Yeah. That, and it just gives us more opportunity to go into a strip center or wherever it is that there's already some real estate that size.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys have a model where you're trying to follow other businesses when you're doing like site selection or helping with site selection? Like, or is it just kind of what makes most sense for that local operator and what's available?
Ours is really just what makes most sense for that local operator. Now we do look at like household income and things like that, but not necessarily like we wouldn't pick like a certain business and follow it. Right.
And do you guys have like your own kind of training types of programs that you've invented and branded and kind of pushed out through all the locations?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we do all of our coach training. So we want our coaches to have some type of certification, but the way that we teach is definitely going to be different than other fitness gyms. So we have a 3-week coach practicum program that all coaches go through. And then they come back for a weekend, Coach 101 weekend is what we call it. So they have to go through a certification with our director of programming. And, I mean, we have a bunch of different training practices. That's the real like formal coach training practice though. But we train owners, operators on every part of the business.
Every part of the business. Yeah. It looks like you've got prime, power, perform, and peak. So you've got kind of they all start with P's, the 4 P's, the 4 P's.
Loving it.
So basically something for everybody, depending on where they are in their fitness journey. It looks like I'm guessing peak is for people that are pretty athletic and they want to level up. Is that kind of?
We actually use Peak as a at-home program. So that's more if you're already in the gym. So our Perform is our like highest level. Okay. But then Prime is the semi-private. Power is our group 16. And then Peak was really invented during COVID. So we needed a program where people could be at their best while they're at home. And we've kept it since then. It's actually worked really well for people who either trying to get back into shape or they've like tweaked their ankle or their knee and they just really can't come into the gym. We have a program where a coach would help them from home until they can get back into the gym. Because that's our ultimate goal for anybody.
Yeah, no, I love that. That's really cool. And I'm looking at the build out. I mean, looks like you've got like rings hanging from the ceiling and you got some aerobic aspects. So rowers, bikes, doesn't look like you have a bunch of the, weight machines and things like that. It's going to be more functional exercise types of stuff. Things that people are going to do in the real world.
Well, it also allows us to keep it very custom. Like our coaches can really come up with something custom for you versus I only have these 10 machines to work with. They can get creative.
Well, and if anybody's ever done the machines, they're pretty boring.
They're boring. They're boring for the coach too.
They're just boring. They're just boring, and you're not using all the muscles and activating all the all the other things that are important. So that's really, really cool that you guys have a kind of a the Peak thing to be able to help people. If they get injured, and stay engaged. So they don't cancel their membership. Right. And then you've got a ton of before and afters, which really helps people kind of see, I think about your customers are probably our customers at the smoothie shop and supplements. When somebody walks in for the very first time, they're kind of scared. It's kind of like this moment where they're going to go on a health journey. Maybe it's like their very first class that they've taken in a long time or maybe ever, and being able to show the before and afters and letting people know, hey, like this could be you. It's not without sacrificing hard work, but you guys provide the framework and the accountability, which I love, for people to be able to go on that wellness journey and make a better life for themselves.
You totally get it. It's terrifying. I mean, we try to say even what to wear, everything, because it's scary.
It is. I still remember taking my first Taekwondo class with my son, and I was like, nobody likes to be the new kid. Nobody likes to be a new kid. I think we go back to like when we were in school, if you were ever the new kid in school, I was once, and it was tough, And so anything you guys can do to help people understand, hey, you're at the right place. We've got you. We've got the tribal aspects that's written into the name. Hey, we're going to make you I almost think we're going to make you a warrior. That's what iron shapes iron. So let's talk about the future. Like, I know you guys are gone through the reboot, and now it's like probably time to start finding those ideal operators. You have a heavy concentration, it looks like kind of in the Southeast, which makes a lot of sense. Are you seeking national expansion? Are you guys kind of staying more regional in the Southeast and down? Like, what's your expansion strategy?
Yeah, so we've started selling again. So we've got 5 in development right now currently. Awesome. So that's really exciting. And then a couple more sold since then. So we're working on growing, definitely. We aren't particular on necessarily if someone reached out from Seattle, Washington, we would work with them. But right now where we're targeting and marketing to is definitely in the Southeast. It's easy to support, easy to get to. We know the market. We know the people. It's just kind of logistically makes sense right now, but we're open to anything.
Also, that Southern hospitality.
Yes, it is.
You get to work with kind people. Yeah. I mean, let's just be real. We're here in the Midwest.
Kind of our business model.
It is your business model. Yeah, you're nice. You're nice. Somebody was telling me the other day, I was on a field trip with my son and his class. And somebody had moved here from the Southeast, and she said, I don't like the Midwest. It's not as friendly as the South. And I'm like, what? She's like, no, I don't like it here. Y'all are mean compared to the Southern hospitality. And I started thinking back to taking trips to Georgia, Alabama, where we've got a team member. I'm like, you know what? I could see that. I actually could see that. We're not mean like New Yorkers. Sorry, New Yorkers, if you're listening, but a lot of New Yorkers are Northeast, short, a little bit different in the Midwest and the Southeast. So that's really cool. So if you're looking for a franchise with down home hospitality from a management team perspective, Iron Tribe Fitness. That's funny.
We're really nice.
That's a good tagline. Iron Tribe. Yeah. We're really nice. We're really nice. Do that.
Yep. There we go.
So let's talk about revenue, because a lot of times entrepreneurs love revenue, diversified revenue streams. I'm guessing you have membership revenue, which is recurring in nature.
It is.
So that's like the holy grail, recurring revenue. Are there any other revenue streams that your franchisees benefit from? Like, you guys have products or anything that you're selling?
Yeah, we do full supplement sales, which about 10 to 15% of our revenue comes from that.
Nice. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And are they your own supplements, or are you guys carrying other people's stuff?
We carry other stuff, and we continue to research that every year to make certain it's really what it is that we want to sell and we're proud of. Yeah. We usually do bottom up decisions for that. So our coaches really advocate for what it is that they love and want to be passionate about to give to their clients and sell to their clients. And that's always the best way to go for, if it's the person that I'm expecting to sell it, believes in it, we sell way more. So we listen. Yeah.
No, good call. Good call. Well, there's a funny story in the episode that dropped last week about how we tried to get sucralose out of our smoothie shops, and that fell flat because our customers wanted it still in pre-workouts. And so you got to listen to your customers. There's another nugget. Bottom up listening will help you a ton. And so our part of, I understood that they're kind of help you with like meal planning and is there a nutrition plan aspect that comes from it? Yeah. And so that's perfect, because the supplements may be part of that and the course of care that you give to people. Cool.
Nobody gets enough protein. So we always get people on protein.
It's true. It is true. Nobody gets enough protein. Nobody gets enough protein. Cool. And you also have merch. Hold on. What's on the merch?
We do. Yeah. We sell apparel in-house. We usually do like a special shirt or something each month, or hat, or we kind of roll it out as it happens, do flash sales.
I like the colors too. Orange is my favorite color. So you're speaking my color language. Cool. So if people want to learn, let's say somebody's listening here and they're like, oh my gosh, a wellness-based franchise, Southeast, that aligns with who the heck I am and what type of business opportunity I'm looking for. Like, what would be the best way for them to go about learning more about what it is that you guys offer?
Yeah. So, irontribefranchise.com. You can reach out to me personally also, Karen at irontribefitness.com. Again, that's Southern, whatever. We'll talk to anybody at this point. We love helping people, especially like our biggest thing is what we've realized is people that get into fitness need to be passion and purpose. And a lot of people have worked out in some job for a while and maybe they're ready to retire, but they didn't really do anything that was necessarily that they felt was meaningful and impactful. And we find that making an investment into something like Iron Tribe has been just very purpose driven. Like we actually help people. I mean, you understand. It feels good. Like
it does.
That's why I worked there. I was a member first. Like it changed my life. So I want to help others. And I think we find a lot of people who want to do the same.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, you really are probably the best brand ambassador because you went from a customer and a member to now you're the president. Big boss. Big boss. Yes. You're the big boss. But I think I haven't had a single guest yet that has worked themselves up all the way up in the way that you have. So first of all, like awesome journey. Like that's super cool.
Thanks.
And if you're not a credible spokesperson and somebody to be like the president and the face of the company, I don't know who the heck is because it's a cool journey. It's rare. So
it's fun.
Awesome. Well, I have thoroughly enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you.
Again,
it's great.
Iron Tribe. What is it? Iron Tribe Fitness
Iron Tribe Franchise.
irontribefranchise.com. So if people want to learn more about it, you can also go to their corporate site, which is just irontribefitness.com. So irontribefranchise.com. If you want to learn about the business op, if you want to see if there's a location near you and you want to go check it out, go to irontribefitness.com. Cool. Anything else that you think people should know about your business?
We
didn't really talk about like the CapEx, like what it costs to open one of these things. Maybe just like a range of capital investment for people listening.
Yeah, so we say about $450 is a good range to get started. Just
so under half a mil.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And the biggest piece, which in any business right now is figuring out real estate and everything else. We were really confident in our systems and our support. Like awesome. I couldn't have said that a couple of years ago, but right now we have it dialed in. Everything is, I mean, you're going to have to work. You're running a business, right? But at the same time, we've got a system for, I know.
You're not going to run it for me. I just want to sit at home and cash checks. What?
I know.
Usually I have my shirt on that says do the work. And you get to work.
True.
You get to work, but
I agree.
You get to do it with a team and reduce the amount of opportunity
You'll make a lot
for
less
mistakes. Exactly. And that's for people who are listening. If you don't know like what the single biggest benefit of a franchise is, that's it. It's the mistakes that we've all made and we've paid for and we've lost sleep over and we've lost money over. You don't have to do that.
Yeah. And franchising, you're really not paying. Yeah, you're really not paying for the business. You're paying for the mistakes that you don't have to make anymore.
That's right. We just want to recover a little bit for pain and suffering for the brain damage that we've inflicted on ourselves.
Yes.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on the show. I really enjoyed today's recording. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Until next time, I'm your host, Kevin Oldham, and I have two asks. Number one, if maybe you know somebody who's interested in Iron Tribe Fitness and you're thinking of that person right now, go ahead and text this episode to them right now. And then number two, I would love it if you subscribed. It's real easy. You don't even have to listen. You can just hit that button and it'll tell the algorithms that you care about my show and it'll keep me doing it. So there you go. Until next time, I hope you have a phenomenal week.